How did American rapper Kanye West start his artistic career, and what are his political ambitions? Part 1. Kanye West, the American rapper, producer, and fashion designer, began his artistic career in the music industry. Here's a brief overview of his career and his political ambitions up to my last knowledge update in September 2021. Artistic career. Kanye West was born on June 8, 1977, in Atlanta, Georgia. He initially gained recognition as a producer in the late 1990s and early 2000s, working with artists like Jay-Z and producing tracks for various hip-hop artists. In 2004, he released his debut solo album, The College Dropout, which was critically acclaimed and commercially successful. The album featured hits like Through the Wire and Jesus Walks. Kanye continued to release highly influential and successful albums in the following years, including Late Registration, Graduation, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and Yeezus, among others. Throughout his career, Kanye West's music has explored various themes, including social issues, race, fame, and personal struggles. He is known for pushing the boundaries of hip-hop and experimenting with different musical styles. Political ambitions. Kanye West's political ambitions became more prominent in 2020 when he announced his candidacy for President of the United States in the 2020 election. He ran as an independent candidate under the birthday party. His campaign platform included controversial statements and ideas, such as his opposition to abortion, support for school prayer, and skepticism about vaccines. He also advocated for a form of direct democracy he called #2020Vision. Despite generating media attention, Kanye West's presidential bid did not gain significant traction in terms of electoral support. He appeared on the ballot in a few states but did not win any electoral votes. It's worth noting that Kanye West's presidential campaign faced scrutiny and skepticism from many quarters, with some suggesting that it may have been more of a publicity stunt than a serious political endeavor. As of my last update in September 2021, Kanye West's political ambitions and activities were a topic of debate and speculation. His career and interests have evolved over time, so it's possible that there have been developments since then. You may want to check more recent sources for any updates on his political involvement. On April 25, 2008, Kanye West donned a MAGA hat and professed his feelings of kinship with Donald Trump. Whether West wearing a MAGA hat is some kind of troll or a reflection of how he squares his politics in 2018 remains an open question. But his tweets have been seen as a real change, the culmination of a slouch toward nihilism, full of fits and starts, that he's calling loving everybody. It wasn't always like this. Here's a likely incomplete list of Kanye West's politics as they have evolved through his music, his public persona, and his political donations. He released his debut studio album, The College Dropout, to critical and commercial success. He founded the record label Good Music later that year. West explored diverse musical elements like orchestras, synthesizers, and auto-tune on the albums Late Registration, Graduation, and 808 Seconds and Heartbreak. His fifth and sixth albums, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Yeezus, were also met with critical and commercial success. West further diversified his musical styles on The Life of Pablo and explored Christian and gospel music on Jesus is King. His 10th album, Donda, was released to commercial success and mixed critical reception. West's discography also includes the 2 full-length collaborative albums Watch the Throne with Jay-Z and Kids See Ghosts with Kid Cudi. One of the world's best-selling music artists, with over 160 million records sold, West has won 24 Grammy Awards and 75 nominations, the joint 10th most of all time, and the joint most Grammy Awards of any rapper along with Jay-Z. Among his other awards are the Billboard Artist Achievement Award, a joint record 3 Brit Awards for Best International Male Solo Artist, and the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. 6 of West's albums were included on Rolling Stone's 2020 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list, with the same publication naming him one of the 100 greatest songwriters of all time. He holds the joint record for most albums, topping the annual Paz and Job Critic poll. Time named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2005 and 2015. As a fashion designer, he has collaborated with Nike, Louis Vuitton, Gap, and Apk on clothing and footwear, and led the Easy collaboration with Adidas. He is also the founder and head of the creative content company Donda. West's outspoken views have received significant media coverage. He has been a frequent source of controversy due to his conduct on social media and at award shows and public settings, as well as his comments on the music and fashion industries, U.S., politics, race, and slavery. His Christian faith, high-profile marriage to Kim Kardashian, and mental health have also been topics of media attention. In 2020, West launched an unsuccessful independent presidential campaign that primarily advocated for a consistent life ethic. In 2022, he was widely condemned and lost many sponsors and partnerships, including his collaborations with Adidas, Gap, and Balenciaga, after making a series of anti-Semitic statements, including denying the Holocaust. West was born on June 8, 1977, in Atlanta, Georgia. After his parents divorced when he was 3 years old, he moved with his mother to Chicago, Illinois. His father, Ray West, is a former Black Panther and was one of the first Black photojournalists at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Ray later became a Christian counselor and in 2006 opened the Goodwater Store and Cafe in Lexington Park, Maryland, with startup capital from his son. West's mother, Donda C. West, was a professor of English at Clark Atlanta University and the chair of the English department at Chicago State University before retiring to serve as his manager. West was raised in a middle-class environment, attending Polaris School for Individual Education in suburban Oak Lawn, Illinois, after living in Chicago. At the age of 10, West moved with his mother to Nanjing, China, where she was teaching at Nanjing University as a Fulbright scholar. According to his mother, West was the only foreigner in his class, but he settled in well and quickly picked up the language, although he has since forgotten most of it. When asked about his grades in high school, West replied, "I got A's and B's." West demonstrated an affinity for the arts at an early age. He began writing poetry when he was 5 years old. West started rapping in the 3rd grade and began making musical compositions in the 7th grade, eventually selling them to other artists. West crossed paths with producer No ID, who became West's friend and mentor. After graduating from high school, West received a scholarship to attend Chicago's American Academy of Art in 1997 and began taking painting classes. Shortly after, he transferred to Chicago State University to study English. At age 20, he dropped out to pursue his musical career. This greatly displeased his mother, who was also a professor at the university, although she would later accept the decision. West began his early production career in the mid-1990s, creating beats primarily for burgeoning local artists around his area. His first official production credits came at 19 when he produced 8 tracks on Down to Earth, the 1996 debut album of a Chicago rapper, Graf. In 1998, West was the first person signed to the management production company Hip Hop since 1978. For a time, West acted as a ghost producer for Direct D. Angeletti. Because of his association with D. West was not able to release a solo album, so he formed the Go-Getters, a rap group composed of him, GLC, Timmy G, Really Doe, and Aerostar. The Go-Getters released their first and only studio album World Record Holders in 1999. West spent much of the late 1990s producing records for several well-known artists and music groups. He produced the 3rd track on Foxy Brown's second studio album China Doll, which became the first hip-hop album by a female rapper to debut at the top of the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. In 2000, West began producing for artists on Rockefeller. West is often credited with revitalizing Jay-Z's career with his contributions to Jay-Z's 2001 album The Blueprint, which Rolling Stone ranked among their list of greatest hip-hop albums. Serving as an in-house producer for Rockefeller, West produced music for other artists on the label, including Beanie Sigel and Freeway. He also crafted hit songs for Ludacris, Alicia Keys, and Janet Jackson. Meanwhile, West struggled to attain a record deal as a rapper. Multiple record companies, including Capitol Records, denied or ignored him because he did not portray the gangsta image prominent in mainstream hip-hop at the time. Desperate to keep West from defecting to another label, then label head Damon Dash reluctantly signed West to Rockefeller. A 2002 car accident, which shattered his jaw, inspired West. 2 weeks after being admitted to the hospital, he recorded Through the Wire at the Record Plant Studios with his jaw still wired shut. The song was first available on West's Get Well Soon mixtape, released in December 2002. At the same time, West announced that he was working on an album called The College Dropout, whose overall theme was to make your own decisions. Don't let society tell you. This is what you have to do. West recorded the remainder of the album in Los Angeles while recovering from the car accident. It was leaked months before its release date, and West used the opportunity to remix, remaster, and revise the album before its release. West added new verses, string arrangements, gospel choirs, and improved drum programming. The album was postponed 3 times from its initial date in August 2003 and was eventually released in February 2004, reaching No. 2 on the Billboard 200 as his debut single. Through the Wire peaked at No. 15, while on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 5 weeks. Slow Jams, his second single, featuring Twista and Jamie Foxx, became the 3 musicians' first No. 1 hit. The College Dropout received near universal critical acclaim, was voted the top album of the year by two major music publications, and has consistently been ranked among the great hip-hop works and debut albums by artists. Jesus Walks, the album's fourth single, reached the top 20 of the Billboard pop charts, despite industry executives' predictions that a song containing such blatant declarations of faith would never make it to the radio. The College Dropout was certified triple platinum in the US and garnered West 10 Grammy nominations, including Album of the Year and Best Rap Album. During this period, West founded Good Music, a record label and management company that housed affiliate artists and producers such as No ID and John Legend, and produced singles for Brandy, Common, Legend, and Slum Village. West invested $2 million and took over a year to make his second album. West was inspired by Roseland NYC Live, a 1998 live album by English trip-hop group Portishead, produced with the New York Philharmonic Orchestra, incorporating string arrangements into his hip-hop production. Though West had not been able to afford many live instruments around the time of his debut album, the money from his commercial success enabled him to hire a string orchestra for his second album, Late Registration. West collaborated with American film score composer John Brion, who served as the album's co-executive producer for several tracks. Late Registration sold over 2.3 million units in the United States alone by the end of 2005, and was considered by industry observers as the only successful major album release of the fall season, which had been plagued by steadily declining CD sales. When his song Touch the Sky failed to win Best Video at the 2006 MTV Europe Music Awards, West went onto the stage as the award was being presented to Justice and Simeon for We Are Your Friends and argued that he should have won the award instead. Hundreds of news outlets worldwide criticized the outburst. On November 7, 2006, West apologized for this outburst publicly during his performance as support act for U2 for their Vertigo concert in Brisbane. He later spoofed the incident on the 33rd season premiere of Saturday Night Live in September 2007. Main articles: Graduation, 808 Seconds and Heartbreak, and Kanye West MTV Video Music Awards controversy. West's third studio album, Graduation, garnered major publicity when its release date pitted West in a sales competition against rapper 50 Cent's Curtis. Upon their September 2007 releases, Graduation outsold Curtis by a large margin, debuting at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart and selling 957,000 copies in its first week. Graduation continued the string of critical and commercial successes by West, and the album's lead single, Stronger, garnered his third number 1 hit. Stronger, which samples French house duo Daft Punk, has been accredited to not only encouraging other hip-hop artists to incorporate house and electronica elements into their music, but also for playing a part in the revival of disco and electro-infused music in the late 2010s. His mother's death in November 2007 and the end of his engagement to Alexis Pfeiffer profoundly affected West, who set off for his 2008 Glow in the Dark tour shortly thereafter. Recorded mostly in Honolulu, Hawaii in 3 weeks, West announced his fourth album, 808 Seconds and Heartbreak, at the 2008 MTV Video Music Awards, where he performed its lead single, Love Lockdown. Music audiences were taken aback by the uncharacteristic production style and the presence of auto-tune, which typified the pre-release response to the record. 808 Seconds and Heartbreak was released by Island Def Jam in November 2008. Upon its release, the lead single Love Lockdown debuted at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, while follow-up single Heartless debuted at number 4. While it was criticized prior to release, 808 Seconds and Heartbreak is considered to have had a significant effect on hip-hop music, encouraging other rappers to take more creative risks with their productions. While Taylor Swift was accepting her award for Best Female Video at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, West went on stage and grabbed the microphone from her to proclaim that Beyoncé deserved the award instead. He was subsequently removed from the remainder of the show for his actions. West was criticized by various celebrities for the outburst, and by President Barack Obama, who called West a jackass. The incident sparked a large influx of internet photo memes. West subsequently apologized, including personally to Swift. However, in a November 2010 interview, he seemed to recant his past apology, describing the act at the 2009 awards show as selfless. 10,201 Well, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, and Cruel Summer. Main articles: My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, and Cruel Summer. Following the highly publicized incident, West took a brief break from music and threw himself into fashion, only to hole up in Hawaii for the next few months writing and recording his next album. Importing his favorite producers and artists to work on and inspire his recording, West kept engineers behind the boards 24 hours a day and slept only in increments. Noah Callahan Bever, a writer for Complex, was present during the sessions and described the communal atmosphere as thus: "With the right songs and the right album, he can overcome any and all controversy, and we are here to contribute, challenge, and inspire." A variety of artists contributed to the project, including close friends Jay-Z, Kid Cudi, and Pusha T, as well as off-the-wall collaborations, such as with Justin Vernon of Bon Iver. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, West's fifth studio album, was released in November 2010 to widespread acclaim from critics, many of whom considered it his best work and said it solidified his comeback. In stark contrast to his previous effort, which featured a minimalist sound, Dark Fantasy adopts a maximalist philosophy and deals with themes of celebrity and excess. The record included the international hit All of the Lights and Billboard hits Power, Monster, and Runaway, the latter of which accompanied a 35-minute film of the same name directed by and starring West. During this time, West initiated the free music program Good Fridays through his website, offering a free download of previously unreleased songs each Friday, a portion of which were included on the album. This promotion ran from August to December 2010. Dark Fantasy went on to go platinum in the United States, but its omission as a contender for Album of the Year at the 54th Grammy Awards was viewed as a snub by several media outlets. 2011 saw West embark on a festival tour to commemorate the release of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, performing and headlining numerous festivals including SWU Music and Arts, Austin City Limits Music Festival, Oya Festival, Flow Festival, Live Music Festival, The Big Chill, Essence Music Festival, Lollapalooza, and Coachella, which was described by The Hollywood Reporter as one of greatest hip-hop sets of all time. West released the collaborative album Watch the Throne with Jay-Z in August 2011. By employing a sales strategy that released the album digitally weeks before its physical counterpart, Watch the Throne became one of the few major label albums in the internet age to avoid a leak. Niggas in Paris became the record's highest charting single, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. The co-headlining Watch the Throne tour kicked off in October 2011 and concluded in June 2012. In 2012, West released the compilation album Cruel Summer, a collection of tracks by artists from West's record label Good Music. Sessions for West's sixth solo effort begin to take shape in early 2013 in his own personal loft's living room at a Paris hotel. Determined to undermine the commercial, he once again brought together close collaborators and attempted to incorporate Chicago drill, dancehall, acid house, and industrial music. Primarily inspired by architecture, West's perfectionist tendencies led him to contact producer Rick Rubin 15 days shy of its due date to strip down the record's sound in favor of a more minimalist approach. Initial promotion of his sixth album included worldwide video projections of the album's music and live television performances. Yeezus, West's sixth album, was released June 18, 2013, to rave reviews from critics. It became his sixth consecutive #1 debut, but also marked his lowest solo opening week sales. In September 2013, West announced he would be headlining his first solo tour in 5 years to support Yeezus, with fellow American rapper Kendrick Lamar accompanying him as a supporting act. The tour was met with rave reviews from critics. Rolling Stone described it as crazily entertaining, hugely ambitious, emotionally affecting, and, most importantly, totally bonkers. Writing for Forbes, Zach O'Malley Greenberg praised West for taking risks that few pop stars, if any, are willing to take in today's hyper-exposed world of pop, describing the show as overwrought and uncomfortable at times, but excels at challenging norms and provoking thought in a way that just isn't common for mainstream musical acts of late. West subsequently released a number of singles featuring Paul McCartney, including Only One and 4-5 Seconds, also featuring Rihanna. In November 2013, West stated that he was beginning work on his next studio album, hoping to release it by mid-2014, with production by Rick Rubin and Q-Tip. Having initially announced a new album entitled Yeezus 2 slated for a 2014 release, West announced in March 2015 that the album would instead be tentatively called So Help Me God. In May 2015, West was awarded an honorary doctorate by the School of the Art Institute of Chicago for his contributions to music, fashion, and popular culture. The next month, West headlined at the Glastonbury Festival in the UK, despite a petition signed by almost 135,000 people against his appearance. Another petition aimed to block West from headlining the 2015 Pan American Games, garnering 50,000 supporters. West announced in January 2016 that Swish would be released on February 11. And later that month, released new songs Real Friends and a snippet of No More Parties in La with Kendrick Lamar. On January 26, 2016, West revealed he had renamed the album from Swish to Waves. In the weeks leading up to the album's release, West became embroiled in several Twitter controversies. Several days ahead of its release, West again changed the title, this time to The Life of Pablo. On February 11th, West premiered the album at Madison Square Garden as part of the presentation of his Yeezy Season 3 clothing line. Following the preview, West announced that he would be modifying the tracklist once more before its release to the public. He released the album exclusively on Tidal on February 14, 2016, following a performance on SNL. Following its release, West continued to tinker with mixes of several tracks, describing the work as a living, breathing, changing creative expression and proclaiming the end of the album as a dominant release form. Despite West's earlier comments, in addition to Tidal, the album was released through several other competing services starting in April. In February 2016, West stated on Twitter that he was planning to release another album in the summer of 2016, tentatively called TurboGrafx-16 in reference to the 1990s video game console of the same name. In June 2016, West released the collaborative lead single Champions off the Good Music album Cruel Winter, which has yet to be released. In August 2016, West embarked on the St. Pablo tour in support of The Life of Pablo. The performances featured a mobile stage suspended from the ceiling. West postponed several dates in October following the Paris robbery of several of his wife's effects. On November 21, 2016, West canceled the remaining 21 dates on the St. Pablo tour, following a week of no shows, curtailed concerts, and rants about politics. He was later admitted for psychiatric observation at UCLA Medical Center. He stayed hospitalized over the Thanksgiving weekend because of a temporary psychosis stemming from sleep deprivation and extreme dehydration. Following this episode, West took an 11-month break from posting on Twitter and the public in general. It was reported in May 2017 that West was recording new music in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, with a wide range of collaborators. In April 2018, West announced plans to write a philosophy book entitled Break the Simulation, later clarifying that he was sharing the book in real time on Twitter and began posting content that was likened to life coaching. Later that month, he also announced 2 new albums, a solo album and self-titled collaboration with Kid Cudi under the name Kids See Ghosts, both of which would be released in June. Additionally, he revealed he would produce upcoming albums by Good Music label mates Pusha T and Teyana Taylor, as well as Nas. Shortly thereafter, West released the non-album singles Lift Yourself, a strange, gibberish track featuring nonsensical lyrics, and Ye Verses, The People, in which he and Ty discussed West's controversial support of Donald Trump. Pusha T's Daytona, the first project out of Wyoming, was released in May to critical acclaim, although the album's artwork, a photograph of deceased singer Whitney Houston's bathroom that West paid $85,000 to license, attracted some controversy. The following week, West released his 8th studio album, E. West has suggested that he scrapped the original recordings of the album and re-recorded it within a month. The week after, West released a collaborative album with Kid Cudi, titled Kids See Ghosts, named after their group of the same name. West also completed production work on Nas Nasir and Teyana Taylor's KTSE, which were released in June 2018. In September, West announced his 9th studio album Yanhai to be released by the end of the month and a collaborative album with fellow Chicagoan rapper Chance the Rapper titled Good Ass Job. That same month, West announced that he would be changing his stage name to Ye. Yanhai was originally set for release in September 2018, but was postponed multiple times. In January 2019, West pulled out of headlining that year's Coachella Festival after negotiations broke down due to discord regarding stage design. In July, it was reported that songs from West's unreleased album Yanhai were leaked online. The following month, Kim Kardashian announced that West's next album would be titled Jesus is King, effectively scrapping Yanhai. By October, the entire unfinished album was available for a short time on streaming services Spotify and Tidal. That's it for today's video. If you found this analysis informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more engaging discussions on politics and current events. Soon we will publish Part 2. Thank you for watching.